Peace, 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 peace. What it do, everybody? What it do? I'm your guy EQ, and y'all know what it is.
What's up?
The host with the most, my partner, my guy.
Yeah.
B, y'all know what it is.
What's good?
Talk to the people.
Oh man, I'm happy to be here, my brother. You know, we've been plane, train, automobile. You know, it took a lot for us to make it happen, but we here, baby. We in this thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and hopefully, we can give y'all some enjoyment, some entertainment, some knowledge, and a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Is definitely the hope, man. But how you feeling today? Let's start with that. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling good, man. It's Friday, you know, cooling it with the fam, and I get to be here with you, my brother, chopping it up. So it's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? How about you?
Hey man, well look, man. One thing I do when I do my solo lives for y'all, I think they're streaming on my brother's channel, but I always do a sip of the night, right? So I'm going with Still Austin straight bourbon, a sip of the night, in my Still Austin tumbler.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have a little sip for the show, and we're gonna get straight into it.
Hey, listen, man, I got some water, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got some water. You know what I'm gonna sip on the water. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got some water too, brother, man. So I know me and you was talking on the background, talking about some things to do. And before we even get into some of the conversations like we had yesterday, what are some, let's give the people fragrance talk, right? What are some of the 5 fragrances you enjoyed this summer?
Listen, I got some with me. I'm not sure if this should be for summer, but I wore it for summer. I'm gonna keep wearing it. And this one's Unwashed Purpose 50. So listen, I've been talking about this one a lot here lately. It's like compliments galore every single time. Frankincense in this thing, it just smells really good, man. Like I spray this thing on, and everyone's just all around me. So yesterday in the office, people, what you got? I watched Purpose 50, sign seal delivered. I was in Arizona and rocked that thing not too long ago, and people was like, "Man, I need that." So that's one. What about you, my brother? Like this thing, frankincense in this thing is just. Listen, I can't get enough of this one, bro.
Really?
I would tell you.
Unwashed got some bangers, and it seems like they've been changing their direction. But I'll go with my next one, and then we can go back and forth for the people.
Yeah.
So some of the fragrances I've been enjoying, one that I've been enjoying a lot is from the House of Gritty, and that's Pomelo Sorrento. Okay. You can get this at discounters, very affordable. So this could give you a little bit of like wulong cha kind of thing, but it uses pomelo. For those who aren't familiar with pomelo, it's like a mix of like grapefruit and orange. So you have that zest. It's a really big fruit. And it also has grapefruit up top, but this has tea, I believe some orris, maybe some rose in here, and some wood, I believe vetiver. This is a nice, green, refreshing scent. It just wafts. It's not the biggest room filler like a wulong cha, but when it's hot outside and you want something refreshing, green, crisp, and bright, Pomelo Sorrento from the House of Gritty, this is a good one to grab. A very good one to grab.
Hey man, you be coming with some slappers, you know, like.
Hey man, you know, I just be looking for stuff that I'd be like, what should I wear if it's really hot and fresh? And it's been that way. I'm sure in Texas it's that way for you, but it's really been like it's hot or it's nothing. It's been a weird summer.
No, it's been hot here.
What's your name, brother?
There's another one that I've been rocking here is Xerjoff Udon Overdose. Something about this reminds me of Lafayette Street from Barnum and I mean, but when I spray this fragrance, it's like super fresh and it's clean. It's like that just got your clothes out the laundry shop clean. So that's what I really enjoy about this fragrance. Like this one I'm rocking when I'm doing like suit and tie. You know what I'm saying? I just need to be professional and need others around me to know that I just exude professionalism. This is one of those fragrances that do it. And then also it's like mass appealing. Like people want to know what you have on. It's slightly creamy as well. But for me, when I'm looking at these fragrances, it's about the feeling that I get when wearing them. And this is super confident fragrance in this one. And when I want something that's like Bondum, I'm like Lafayette Street, but not quite that, this is the fragrance that I put on. This one just does something different to me and to others around me. So this is a automatic spray and go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I'm going to go with the next one that I've been wearing a lot of. I really enjoy this fragrance. This gets tons of compliments. I know on my channel I've talked about it a lot, and that's from the House of Suspiro, and that's Contratto. So for those who aren't familiar, this particular fragrance it goes into the bald out freak kind of thing, but it's brighter. The citrus, because it uses orange blossom and I believe chestnut in here, some pink pepper, that gives it this almost creamy, sweet, white floral smell. And it's just, when you talk about compliments, casual, sillage, wafts in the air, people will be attracted to it. This is one that just does numbers. People love the smell of this. It's not harsh. It's almost unisex, to be honest, which I think that's why it's like one of those fragrances where it's like right down the middle.
Right.
People just love the smell of this. I love the smell of this. This is Contratto from the House of Suspiro.
Listen, I got to dive more into their line. I got a couple of them, and that Suspiro Dolce Melade is like the love of my life. Outside of my wife, that fragrance from them is top tier, like the fragrance that I love. And the crazy part about it is it comes up and it says it's a women's perfume, but when I spray that thing on,
But see, you're the one that put me on the Fleur Narcotique. Matter of fact, we did that verse since. You pulled that out, and then I was in Neiman's, and I called you. And I'm like, bruh.
I remember that.
I said, oh, this is different. This is different here. And yes, it has a feminine quality, but when you put it on and it's hot, that was probably one of the greatest recommendations anybody ever told me.
Listen, I be keeping that under wraps. I had to pull it out for that, though. I had to pull it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that was a good one. That was a good one. What you got next?
Listen, this is no stranger for me. Louis Vuitton lovers. I'm one of the, I feel like people hate me when I talk about this fragrance, but you're gonna see like the dent in that thing, man. I've been rocking it. Like, I've been rocking this thing. And I think it's good, man. It's a good change up from what Louis Vuitton has to offer. Like most people are gonna go with Imagination. They're gonna go with Pacific Chill or one of those other fragrances, man. For me, Lovers was like Lover's first sniff. I was actually taking my wife there for her birthday when I picked this thing up to grab her something. And I smelled this and she smelled it. She's like, immediately, yes. Right. So this thing here got some ginger in here. It's just like, it just feels like what a man should smell like. Right? It takes that like classic men's fragrance DNA, adds a modern twist to it. And in a world where a lot of fragrances, like we just talked about, feel sweet and unisex, this just feels like something a man should wear, and you present yourself as such. And this one here is fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Now, for me, I do like that woody scent, but I have other fragrances I like a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's one of them things like, do I need it? Especially at the price point. It'd be like, do I need it?
That's fair.
But I like that one. I know for a fact people, like when they smell it in the air, people like it. So definitely a good one. And I know our guy Darren, he loves that. That's one of his favorites.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to
the bow tie. So my next fragrance, and let me move this real quick. It's over. My next fragrance I'm gonna be discussing is one that I said like this summer. In this DNA, it's not even my favorite fragrance in this kind of DNA. But when you wear it out, I can't explain the amount of compliments this gets, especially when the wind is just blooming around. And this is from Mebesus, and this is A Wondrous Flight. So this takes that Bulgari Tiger DNA, but it adds some mandarin orange, has that ginger, some pink pepper, some orris, but it has this masculine, woody base. I believe vetiver and oak moss is in here because I'm getting a lot of the oak moss. But I think that woodiness is what just rounds it out, makes it a little bit more masculine. But that ginger makes it sweet, very fizzy. I love this fragrance, but it's not my favorite from the DNA. But if crowd pleasers is what you want, and you're going outside, it's hot, you're going to a festival, you're going to an outdoor concert, anywhere where people are going to be, and you say, I need something that's going to perform. Concerts are normally like 5 hours, 6, give or take. So I at least need 5 or 6 hours. What should I wear? And I want to be complimented. This is definitely one people should get their nose on. Definitely one. May Bessus, a wondrous flight. If you love the Tiger DNA, this is one you should definitely get your nose on. Definitely.
You know, I got one fragrance from them, and I don't remember the name of it. I gotta explore that fragrance more, as well as the house more, so I can dig into it. Hearing you talk about it, I'm like, yeah.
Is it Passion Island? Or you haven't smelled it yet?
It's like a greenish bottle, kind of. I don't know. I haven't spent much time with it though. I'll shoot you a picture of it once we're done. I'll shoot you a picture of it. So once I take my nose on it.
What you got next?
All right. So I came up with this fragrance. I was in a meeting, and my guy was next to me. And I'm like, "Oh, bro, you ain't gonna do me like that. Like, you're not gonna be sitting here like just smelling like that, like this, like, you know, trying to take the spot from me." You know what I'm saying? Typically, when I'm in business meetings, you know, I'm that guy. But he was like, you know, next level with it. So I had to immediately go out and purchase it. And from Clive Christian, we have a crab apple blossom. Like, I was like, bro, what are we doing? Like, you got some rhubarb in here. Obviously, it got that marine type setup. There's some driftwood. But again, the feel, the vibe. This is another fragrance. Like, as you can see, I'm all these business fragrances right now. This is one of those scents that just feels like class. It's elegance. This is one of those fragrances that, like, I feel like a Bosch away. Obviously, the price point will be indicative of that as well. But this is one of those fragrances that I feel like you spray this on, and although this one is not like an aggressive scent, it comes off like, all right, this person smells good, but they're not to play with, right? Like, they're not to be played with. And that's what this fragrance gives me. It's crowd pleasing. You know, people are drawn to this fragrance, very similar to what I was. So therefore, this is one of those ones that I just feel like it has to be in the rotation. And I've been going back and forth to this one a ton, especially as I'm traveling. It's on the bag and with me, for sure.
Good one. So I need to get into that house. I can't say it's still. It's funny because I can't say it's the price point based on things I own.
Oh, shit. I mean, listen, man, you got like 100,000. Like, there's one side, one row right there, one row.
But I don't know why I've avoided that house, because I know they have some good ones, some solid good ones, but I just avoided them. I need to explore. I think what I should do is probably get some samples. That'll probably be the best. Find ways to get a whole bunch of samples and kind of just explore that way and get something. Because I feel like, what's the green bottle? 1872?
Yeah, 1872 Thomas.
Yeah. Like that's when I last smelt it, that was like a timeless, classic green fragrance. I think I want to have that for spring of next year, but we'll see. Yeah. So going on for my next one, right? This is one of my. I always say, for those who are watching this on Triple B's channel on his live, because he's streaming there too, welcome. This is a fragrance that, to me, I call an intelligent reach fragrance. We don't use the dumb reach. Intelligent reach fragrance. This is because when you reach for this, you're extremely smart and wise. There's nothing dumb about this decision. This is easy to wear. You can find it at discounters. You can hit Big Beer Business, Joma Shop link, or hit mine. And because I know it's there, and you can get the big boy bottle. This is from the house of Moncler, and this is La Cordée. La Cordée. So what you get here is bergamot, but that bergamot and this geranium thing going on almost comes off like lemon, and you have tea. So in the woods in here, because of course, if you have citruses and teas, you're gonna want you're gonna want some kind of woods, vetiver, cedar. This uses cypress as its woody, like what just holds the fragrance together. When I say that I have yet to find a person who doesn't like the smell of this, it works. It is simplistic, first and foremost. It's simplistic like imagination, right? Like you can smell imagination, you be like, it's simplistic. I don't know why it's $400, but when you wear it, the way people compliment you, you just be like, okay, I get it. It's just easy to wear. This, I don't really care if you're in the Texas heat, the Florida heat, Arizona heat. It's tea, it's citrus, it's woods. It's easy to wear. It is very like therapeutic, like almost aromatherapeutic. It will draw people in. And this is one you can do 15, 20 sprays, and it's really not going to do too much. It's not going to be piercing. And I mean, the sillage this thing leaves. It is an amazing scent trail fragrance, an amazing compliment getting fragrance. And that's from the house of Moncler, and that's La Cordée. And that's the big boy bottle.
And listen, I gotta get into that. So I've been seeing like their fragrances online. I never come across them in person, but I've seen them online. I'm like, I gotta try those out. But you solidified it, added to the collection.
Yeah, it's just really to be honest, it's not overly complex. But I'm glad I got it at discounts. Like that's the big boy, 6.7 ounces. I think it's under $200 for that. If you catch it on Joma Shop. So they can use your link, but it's like too easy to wear. It's just too easy, and it performs. So you can't go wrong with that fragrance. You can't go wrong with that fragrance. What you got for your last summer?
Yeah, man, I've been a fan of this fragrance since it came out, or at least since I got it in my collection because I didn't get it as soon as it came out. And it's a fragrance that I come to often during the warmer weather. And this is one of those fragrances I wear when it's for me. Like when it's just like, I need an intelligent reach for me. This is one of those ones I go for. When you see it, like, that, okay. But it's nothing too crazy, but it's for me. And from Parfum Marley, this one is 70. Like, this bright citrus, mint, you got that ambroxan in here to kind of pull it together, make sure it projects and people can smell you. You got some cashmere, some woods here in the base, and it's just a really easy going fragrance to wear. Compliments galore with this fragrance, and it's a fan favorite within the household. The missus likes it, my oldest son likes it, my youngest son likes it, and of course, I love this thing. So it's just an easy wear. It's super easy. It just smells impeccable. like this is one of the fragrances I get excited for. Like it's just like it makes me feel good when I spray it on. So therefore, I gotta keep it in the collection.
Yeah, some people, everything doesn't have to be a million notes complex and these strange things. Some things just absolutely just smell good, or you have this attachment to it and you don't care. Like I have some Manceras that way. Like I have all these expensive fragrances, but I got a couple of Manceras that is just pearl. It doesn't matter. That's probably always going to try to stay in my collection if I can help it. Let me talk about my last summer fragrance that I have enjoyed wearing for some time. So this fragrance, a lot of people who been on my channel know this fragrance. This fragrance has power. It has legs. It performs. It has this aquatic nuance to it, but it's more boozy in the grand scheme of it. This is from the house of Boadicea the Victorious, and this is Aqua Sapphire. This is a Mai Tai fragrance. Mai Tai. This has some pineapple in it, rum. It has some wood, some musk. I think you got a little bit of saffron, some rose. It is just an absolute gorgeous fragrance from beginning to end, but you have to kind of like aquatics. Now, a lot of people will say this is similar to like Orto Parisi's Magnamar. I have that fragrance. Yes, they have similarities, but they really go in different directions. This is like, when Magic Johnson and them and Samuel Jackson rent that yacht, when you have a boat that has a boat, that's what you wear this at. That's where you wear this at. When your boat has boats, this just absolutely, the scent trail, it can be room filling. It doesn't, I mean, this can easily be a 5-spray fragrance, and that may really be too much. And it's going to last all day long. From a compliment rating factor, it's like a 10 out of 10 compliment rating factor. It is just, it works. People love the smell of it. And for whatever reason, it doesn't smell like every other blue kind of fragrance. It's just a really, really solid, compliment getting, easy to wear. If you're going somewhere and you say you need your confidence built up because you like, I need some affirmation today. I want somebody to tell me I smell good today. I just need some affirmation, some good news. This is one you can grab, because if you're around people in a social environment, you can possibly get it. And that's Aqua Sapphire from Boadicea the Victorious.
Listen, bro. Every time I hear you talk about this fragrance brand, I feel like I need to reset my life. You know, I need to reset my life. Like I feel like you got almost all of it, if not all of it.
Oh no, I'm far. There's people in Facebook groups that have, I believe it's like 50 or 60. Oh no, I know I don't need all of them, but like I kind of have the ones I want for the most part. I'm not, you know, it's like some houses you don't need everything from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I have what I need from them, and I'm like moving on. I think I'm about to move on to just other things.
That's fair. You know, listen, I know I keep saying this. Like, I gotta dive into this line. Like, I gotta dive into it. Like, every time I hear you talk about it, I hear Darian talk about it. I just gotta make sure, like, you know, I have my life in order. You know what I'm saying? Dive into the line.
Hey, well, I tell you what. The people know that, you know, I know you're going to be doing videos. I'm doing more lives. I'll be doing videos too, but we're about to go into this transitional weather thing, you know, and summer's, you know, just about over. I feel like it went by fast, but what are some fragrances, and let's give the people 5 that you looking forward to wearing in this upcoming autumn weather? Give the people 5.
Can I give you 2 for 1 right now?
Yeah. Go ahead and just give it to the people.
All right, so 2 for 1 is Angel Share. This is like my 4th bottle in my household. So like we run through these. So, you know, we wear this all year round. It just is what it is. But I'm looking forward to wearing it in a more appropriate weather. So that's that. But also I know that Angel Share on the rocks, and I need that in my life right now. So that's one of those ones I'm gonna be wearing. So that's 2 for 1. I just got to make sure there's a substantial difference between the two. I like this one more than I like the Paradise. So hopefully On the Rocks doesn't disappoint me. But Angel Share, cinnamon, some cardamom. This is woody, spicy. This is like cuddle buddy activity to the next level, like to the umpteenth degree. Like I wore this one for almost 30 days straight. Is like how good this fragrance is. And the compliment factor through the roof. Women love it. My wife love it. My kids love it. Like it doesn't matter where you go. Someone wants to know what you have on when you spray this fragrance on. And this is a top tier contender. Top tier.
That's a good one. You know, so my choice goes into almost that same vein, but not quite. But this also is warm, enticing, cuddle buddy. This is probably one of my most complimented tobacco fragrances within my collection, and that's from the House of Dior, and that's Tobacco Color. So this is tobacco, honey, some smoke, some plum, amber, and when I tell you, and you can layer this if you really want to get crazy, layer it with Angel Share, layer it. But this fragrance right here, some fragrances like, or notes like leather, it's a hit or miss. I have some leathers that really do well with the people, but it can be a hit or miss with some people in their noses. Tobaccos, depending on, can be a hit or miss. I find that in the air, as long as you don't overspray, because overspraying can ruin, I think, a fragrance experience, depending on what that fragrance is. This one just wafts, compliments galore. People love it. If I'm going to a cigar lounge, I can wear this. If I'm going out to a steakhouse, I can wear this. If you're going out to have some bourbon, some dark liquor, you can wear this. A jazz bar, you can wear this. It suits that nightlife in just warmth. Great fragrance. I love this. And that's Tabaccolor.
So I'm excited to hear you say that
Mm.
because Kevin Samuels,
Mm.
he sent me a text message one day and said, "Get this in your life," and I never got it. But a friend of mine, he just went to Rome, and he was like, "Hey man, you need me to get you anything while I'm over here?" And I told him to pick me up that and Blue Towson. So I haven't smelled either one of those. so here you talk about it. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to actually getting those in. So I should have them next week or so. So I'm excited about that.
Rest in peace to the Godfather. One of my admins said we don't have enough likes in here. Everybody, please, if you get an opportunity, hit the like button. It helps both our channels. Lets us know that y'all want more of this kind of content that we doing. Where we at? I think that's on you, right?
Yeah, it's on me. It's on
All
me.
right, what you got?
Next we got from Mind Games. I've been digging Mind Games a lot, man. Like I've been digging them a lot. I've been wearing them a lot. But a fragrance that I'm coming back to, it's pimento suede. This one is Jadou. Jadou. Like this fragrance, I feel like there's some rose in here as well. Man, like I spray this fragrance on and I just feel like in what the young kids would say, I feel like the man when I walk. Like this fragrance here just feels amazing. It's crazy to think about it is I don't feel like it's just kind of just attaches to one age group. I took my son to Neiman's and I like, man, pick out a fragrance, and this is what he picked out. So he picked this one out for himself. So this fragrance here just does something special to you. Compliment factors to the roof, which is what I like to smell amazing. So when I'm looking for fragrances, I'm like, hey, what are the people going to say when I spray this fragrance on? And this is without a doubt a fragrance I would continue to come back to. It has a nice little fruity, like a semi-fruity quality to it, but all in all, performance is great, projection is great, compliment factor is next level. Pimento, suede here, actually pomegranate. Yeah, someone in the chat, there's pomegranate, and it's next level. Might just spray it on right now. Might just spray it on right now. Give me a couple little whiffs of that.
Yeah, man. Mind Games they definitely have some bangers. I remember, I think you was one of the first ones who went out there and bought the whole thing.
Well, the whole thing.
Are you missing any of them? Because I know they seem like they came out with 2 recently, but
I got queen side and king side. I got those. I just haven't talked about them yet.
All right. Did you get the counterplay and the other one, the banana like mango counterplay?
No, I don't have that. Those I missed 2. I think they released them like in Dillard's or something like that.
Okay,
those are 2 that I'm missing. I need to grab it. But
you grab Mentor, right?
Yeah, I got Mentor. Yeah, okay. Mentor is fire.
Oh, Mentor is absolutely fire.
Mentor is disrespectful.
Yeah. Mentor works, and to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, like I could easily use Mentor as one of the fragrances that I look forward to wearing.
I had it in my hand, bro. I had it in my hand. And I was like, I can't do 2 Mind Games unless I had it in my hand.
Well, you can if you want to go grab it. You can go get it. I mean, Mentor is a good one. It is a really, really good one. So, my next one I'm gonna talk about is one from this house again, designer luxury house, a classic house. This fragrance, I think I've smelled it probably like 2-3 years ago at the boutique, and I was blown away by this fragrance because it has notes that I like, notes like plum. And this is from Cartier, and this is Oud Santal from their private line. This here is Oud Plum Sandalwood. It is bro. Listen, for those people, and I get it, depending on your experience and kind of what you had with Oud, some people say Oud doesn't work. Well, depends on where you are. Depends on where you are and what kind of weather you have. But I'm telling you that this stuff absolutely works. The plum is lush. It's almost not necessarily boozy, but with the oud being dry, woody, smoky, it's like this plum is right over top the smoke. It is a really, 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 really good composition. I really look forward to wearing this, especially as the weather gets cool, because I'm in the Northeast. Yeah, this is going to be a good one to grab. And this is Cartier, and this is Oud Santal.
Man, I almost grabbed that for 100 Years of Fragrance video that I did. That was one of the ones I almost grabbed on that. Let's see. Last time I was on a live with you, I had this fragrance on. Like I think I was leaving out of a baseball game, and it just I don't remember how I got on the live. I think I was turned on, and he was on. I was like, oh, I'm in here.
Right.
And the fragrance that we talk about is from Xerjoff, and this one is 40 knots. Like, and this is like a good, when you talked about transitional fragrances, this is like a good transitional fragrance. It's not too deep. It's not too resonant out here. This fragrance is more marine. It's like a twist of Ombre Nuit from I think it's Dior, right? There's like a twist of that. Whoever makes that fragrance, this is a twist of that fragrance to me. It's long lasting. It like gets the people going.
Absolutely.
This fragrance is one of those ones that people stop you in your tracks and literally want to know what you got on. And that night that I was on with you, that's exactly what happened. So 40 knots for the game. Amazing fragrance. And it's just one of those fragrances that work. It's not too much, it doesn't have a super complex. It's like marine, saltiness, woods. That's it. But it works. It works.
Yeah. And I agree with you. It is like taking Dior Ombre Nuit and like doing something big with it. Like and then with performance, taking it through the next, it's like taking it and running with it. They really did their thing with that fragrance. I mean, one can say, to be honest, it's like signature scent.
Yeah.
You can wear that in any season, no matter where you are. I like 40 knots. I like 40 knots a lot. I need to wear it more. But during this time, if I was going to go with a join the club, give me a second. I'll circle back. It's right off. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think. When you do yours, I'll circle back and I will talk about what fragrance that is. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I'll circle back. So my next fragrance is a fragrance I got from an independent company. They sent this out to me. When I did my first impressions for this fragrance, it really blew me away. I wore it since then. I really enjoyed the wear. I need to make sure I say the name right, because when I was saying the name on my live, I said it wrong. And this is from Get Right Fragrances. And this is Berry Oud. Berry Oud. This is an independent fragrance house for people who haven't heard of the house. This is strawberry, I believe black currant. You have some oud and maybe some patchouli in here, some amber, vanilla, some vanillic amber. This is just this juxtaposition between being extremely fruity, because you're not used to smelling strawberry in men's fragrances, right? If I told you strawberry was in a fragrance, you would immediately think woman's fragrance. Mm-hmm. But the way it balances that fruity aspect with these dark woods, and it plays back and forth. I think this is going to be something I look forward to wearing when the temperature gets low and you going out around people. This is bar kind of fragrance. This is something you wear like to the bar, because every Fragcom's growing, and we'll get a little into the growth of Fragcom, but people have a lot of fragrances. They're wearing a lot of things. It's a lot of Louis Vuittons and things of that nature. But when you want to stand out, sometimes you have to wear something different, but still smell good. So you want to add some sweetness. This does that. Very interesting. This is the type that make people want to ask you, hey, what are you wearing? Because it's an interesting fragrance. Great bar fragrance. And that's from the clean team, from Get Right Fragrances. And this is Berry Oud. Berry Oud. I really look forward to wearing this.
Berry Oud.
Berry
They got a ring to it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's
I like it.
it's like, is it berries oud, or is it berry and oud? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the way this strawberry, and I'm talking about like it is a very street sweet strawberry with like this musk of vanilla and oud. Yeah, man. That's going to be good in the right environment. What you got?
So this next one for me is one that I feel like I just need to explore a bit more. Like I dove into it last year. The first day I wore it, I got 13 compliments, which was crazy. Um, but it's one that I've kind of shied away from, and I feel like I need to get back to it, just simply to see if I still feel the same way that I felt when I was initially wearing it. I came across someone the other day who was wearing it. I'm like, man, they smell good. They smell good. It's leather. It's cinnamon. This one has some sandalwood, some patchouli, just all the things that you would think of in a fragrance. There's also some benzoin, and it's from Creed. And this one is Centaurus. All right.
Mm.
Like Centaurus has this spicy feel to it, something very different than what Creed was doing. And now they begin to dip their toe in changing the game a bit for what they traditionally do. And this is one of those fragrances that spoke to me because red's my favorite color. The bottle's kind of along those lines. It's a Taurus, Centaurus. I'm a Taurus. So just something about it just made me like, all right, cool. This is the one that I got to go for. This one, Delphinus, is great as well. But this is one that I'm looking forward to wearing to just, for me, to explore a bit more, to see how this journey comes along for me. And then also the compliment fact that I got with the Wisteria Rouge. So, I'm circling back and spinning the block.
Mm. Creed, since they sold, have been doing some really interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
Their new oud fragrance is good. I probably won't buy it just because I don't need it, but it is solid. It is like shisha. It is like straight up shisha in fruits, and it is really good. I'm just, part of me is like, if I get it, I'll just want to catch it for the right price. Like I want to catch it at discounters for like that $275. It's kind of where I want to 280, 275, and I'm just going to kind of linger and wait.
You gotta get it at the right price. Right?
Yeah. That's kind of like, it's like stocks. That's kind of where you go buy. That's the entry point. It's like 275 is where I really start contemplating life and saying, okay, I think 310 is more reasonable because it's oud. I don't know if it'll ever get 275. But I feel like 310 is a reasonable entry point. On that Xerjoff, I remember it's ivory root.
I've heard a lot of good things about it. I haven't smelled it yet, though.
Ivory root is chef's kiss. So, my next fragrance that I'm going to be talking about is one I picked up this summer. I picked up spring or summer, like in between that transition period. This is from a monster house, right? This is when you talk about this house, you can't call it designer. It's not really niche. It's not indie. It is just a fragrance house. It's been around for the longest. And shoot, now I'm looking at it. It seems like I'm looking forward to wearing a lot of oud fragrances. This is from the house of Guerlain, and this is oud nude. Oud nude. Now, let me tell you about this. So, this has a very jammy, succulent, raspberry experience. Very jammy, almost like spread, like basically jam. I mean, it is, I'm not going to say it's syrupy, but it's very sweet and lush. You have almond in here that adds creaminess to the composition, but that almond is almost like a cherried almond. So when you add that raspberry with this almost cherried almond, you have the rose, which to me supports the brightness of the raspberry. You get a really good Oud, very wearable. Nothing animalic, nothing harsh. Very wearable oud experience. Oh my God. But what really makes this fragrance, when people say vanilla, one of the best vanillas ever created is from this house, from this line, that Spiritualise Double Vanille. It uses that same kind of vanilla. So you get this rose vanilla oud with these red berries up top, but this very lush, creamy composition that just softens it up, makes it like a little bit powdery, and I believe some sandalwoods in here, making it also creamy. This, you talking about date night. You talking about sex appeal. You talking about a unisex scent. You talking about something that just because of that raspberry and that cherries, and it's like that like machino cherries, that really syrupy cherry. This is neck nibbling. This is one that just makes you say, I need to smell that a little bit more. And that's why you shouldn't overspray it. Just put enough so they can get a waft and be like, what is that? Right. This, I look forward to this. And that's Oud Nude from Guerlain. Listen, this is one that, yeah, this is it. This is, yeah. Oud Nude.
Listen, I came across that line of fragrances in Neiman. I think it was Neiman's. And they were doing like this event there. And I loved them. Like, I loved almost everyone that I smelled. Ended up picking up some for my wife, but just very nice fragrance line. They did their thing. Guerlain is top tier with those.
Yeah, and they have one that I think I'm going to add by next spring, which is Peche Mirage. It's like peach, but it's like peach and leather. So you think peach fragrance and automatically you think the feminine, right? But when it's wrapped in this suede like leather, I mean, does it lean feminine? Yeah, sure, a little bit. But off of skin, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. What you got? I think this is the last one. What you got?
I did 2 for 1.
You did 2 for 1. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back to back. I go back to back then. Let me go ahead and give the people something. This is one that, I look forward to wearing. I don't really want to. Well, I don't even know if I could recommend, because this was a limited release, and I don't know if any more bottles are left. This is for the person who really loves perfumery. I mean, but it's also extremely wearable to me. It's like they modernized an old school Chypre. And this is from the house of Raja. And this is RDHP 21. This is from their Alt Lux over in you got to buy it from Raja, from their Alt Lux line. Listen, this has this orange juice accord. The best way to explain this, because there's so many notes, is if you took Roger Dove's Diaghilev, but you modernized it. This is a Chypre, so it has classic Chypre vibes, but that lime, that orange juice accord up top, it's just, yeah, I look forward to wearing this. It's more, to me, it's more wearable than Diaghilev. Diaghilev isn't going to be for everybody. It's kind of not. It has this like timeless, classical thing, but depending on what you do in life and where you be, it might not really be for you. This one is, it rounds it out. I like this. The times I've tested this, I like this a lot more. This winter, I'm going to be spraying a lot of this on. And that's RDHP 21 from the house of Roger Dove. Yeah.
Hey, that just looked like it's a flex.
I mean, it costs, listen, I don't like retail, but you have to pay retail for it. And then the tariff fees hit you in the head. So those are some fragrances we look forward. Matter of fact, real quick, let's give them 2. What do you look forward to? Well, you already kind of said. Is there anything else you look forward to adding before the end of the year? Just anything coming out new that just kind of sticks out with you?
Anything coming out new? I mean, I guess the Creed one you just talked about, right? I think it's what is
Uzaran or Zaran?
Yeah. I feel like I at least want to try it. You know what I'm saying? At least want to try it, and maybe just go ahead and get that one in there. I don't know, man. Like I need something. I need. You know what? I want one of them bonus Victorious fragrance. I got to get one of those. So you just tell me the one to get, and I'm going to get that. That's what I'm going to do.
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll
that's what I'm gonna do. Like that's gonna be it. Like whatever you tell me to get, that's what I'm gonna get, and boom, that's what I'm looking forward to. In addition to Angel Share on the Rocks,
we'll work that out.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, Angel Share on the Rocks, I am looking forward to that. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm scared that it's gonna be mid.
That's how I feel too. I feel that way. And here's the thing, I feel like it did so. I feel like it did so well for Kilian because they don't hit these three-peats in this way. I would like to say I'm a part of that. You know, I feel like I'm a part of the success of Angel Share because I've talked about Angel Share a ton, and I feel like I'm part of the success there. But he can't let me down. You know, they can't let me down with these flankers, so to speak.
Yeah, flankers in brands kind of, especially when it seems like they're milking it. Oh, I can tell you one. I think in a couple of weeks, I think this week coming up, Raja Elysium Noir is coming out. So I want to get my nose on that. I love Elysium. I didn't care for the Intense or the one with the. I'm skeptical, but I just don't like them overdoing really good fragrances.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like they trying to milk it. But I will try to get my nose on that because that may have to be added to the collection, depending on what it is. That may have to be added to the collection. So me and you had a long talk yesterday about just Fragcom in general. We was on the phone chopping it up, and I was like, we need to bring some of this conversation.
Yeah,
because a lot of people who watch us, I know we have other influencers who show love. Shout out to Fat Boy Finesse. I seen him in the comments. It's a lot. I don't want to feel like I'm missing somebody, but I remember I saw his name earlier in the comments on Callie's Groom Room. He was in the comments. I feel like I saw him in there. And there's a lot of people who, I told you, I looked up to you in a lot of ways on how you conducted the business aspect of it. And I want to play this audio because it kind of goes into what we're talking about as far as, owning your own IP, this influencer thing, because there's people who watch us who really don't understand. And, it's shilling, or people who want to do it who aren't really conducting their business the right way. So let me find this audio. And let me play this audio for the people real quick.
Creators need to learn.
And more creators. Yeah. So many creators do not realize
Can y'all hear
the power they have. Yeah. Advertisers from the beginning of time are trying to talk to your audience. From radio advertising to TV to late night to the Super Bowl to podcasts, because I have something to sell. Like McDonald's makes billions of dollars in revenue every year. Coca-Cola, billions of dollars in revenue. They still buy commercials. McDonald's never stops making commercials. They still got to tell somebody we got the Big Mac, we got this special, we got
snack wrap back,
McRib, and now the audience is not watching TV as much, right? So how do that's why podcasters and influencers are making money, because we used to come home from school and turn the TV on and watch from 3 to 7. So advertisers are like, I need to talk to Kev.
I got to get in there.
He's watching ESPN. Now I'm still as much of a sports fan as I've always been, but I can catch the highlights on TikTok, Twitter,
everywhere.
Bleacher Report. Like my kids have taught me so much about business just by their habits. My son, when the game's over, he doesn't know what channel ESPN's on. And he goes to Bleacher Report or House of Highlights.
And that's how he finds it. And that's what the advertiser's doing.
And that's what the
advertiser is just watching your habits. You as the content creator are thinking, all right, I'm bringing one person from here to here. That's got to be value in that. But No, they looking at it like that's one person who we're gonna study their habits 24/7 and have a lifelong customer to this many businesses.
Yes.
Like we're just not looking at it the same. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's why, like, when I tour, touring partners are great, but when you tour with a partner, they keep the emails. So after my show, Joe Budden podcast, we coming to New York too. They're like, oh, they watch Joe Budden. They watch Here's the Thing. Oh, snap. This is a lookalike audience. If you're a fan of Joe, you might be a fan of Mark Lamont Hill.
Because we all look alike.
Yeah, to them advertisers. So
Yeah.
when I tour independently, I get all those emails.
Mhm.
So now when I say I'm coming to New York, I can email everybody who came to my last New York show. And that's the value that has. But you also take the risk, you know, and the reward of all the pressure and all that type of stuff. But I think even that stuff is valuable. Just emails are valuable because they use emails and they go in your email and say, this is Joe's lotion. This is his toothpaste. Like they sell that data. That's why.
Right.
Yeah, that's why
everybody's in the data business.
The
Yes.
data game.
Everybody's in the data business.
everybody. Somebody told me, I was like, why do they want us to scan these rewards things at 7-Eleven? It's like because they get your phone number and they follow you throughout the day.
Mhm.
They can sell that data to whoever. And I'm like, dang, you think you're getting something? And in some cases, you are.
That's why Walmart never accepted Apple Pay.
Really?
They was trying to set their own shit up where they wanted to be able to track you via consumer reward. Rebates and rewards.
Oh,
That's why to this day, Walmart, they was trying to start their own pay where because Apple wasn't showing all the data off.
It's funny you bring up rebates.
So that was interesting. And first, let me give credit for what it is. That is from the Joe Budden podcast, and that's from his Patreon. If you're not a part of Joe Budden podcast or follow him, or you're not a part of his Patreon, you should do so. So shout out to them for having that conversation. That conversation was so powerful to me and hit on so many different things that you and I have talked about offline and just in general on the business aspect of it. Shoot, where can we go? Let's talk about let's get into what's your idea as far as where, because you was in this before. I feel like before it became this. What is how do you view the landscape of Fragcom?
I think it's healthy. It's thriving. It's going in the right direction. You know, I think before it wasn't particularly cool to talk about fragrance, and now it is. And then also it's easy point of entry because, you know, content creation can be expensive. And if you can get something that you're already rocking daily and bring it to a space or something you truly enjoy and talk about it, it puts you in a good space. So I think that that's good in itself. When we look at it, there's a crossover between all the platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You can kind of, you know, make a way in any of those. But also, because I feel like personally, because of the popularity, the things that are growing within the Fragcom space, some of these companies feel emboldened to up their prices because of that. I feel there's a lot that is changing in a good way for creators. It's not always created equal, but there's a lot of things that are going on for creators in a good space. And I'm able to see like people change their lives on this. So I think that's always a good thing for everyone. But also it's fun, man. It's fun. So I think in those instances, we're in the right space. It's healthy. Things are moving through. And I feel like it's getting closer to being on par with the other industries that are within this cosmetics space, since it falls under that. We've been a little late to the party in the fragrance world, but I think things are beginning to go in the right space. And you're also seeing some of the others crossed over there between lifestyle and fashion and grooming as well, all coming to this fragrance space. And I think that's only greater. Does more eyes in the community. So you can't be mad about that.
Absolutely. Now, what some would say is where anytime money is involved, and money becomes maybe a possible motivator, right? There's always bad apples, right? There's always some corruption. There's always some control. There's depending on people's motivators, right? That's why I love one thing, you know, we talked about and I always told you is that like you don't get a lot of free stuff that people think you get. Now, I think you should be getting more free stuff, but you don't. But I also think there's power in that, because I think people will, if the person having the money, if they know they can get you to say anything for $1, you kind of become their whore.
Yeah.
And I just think businesses ultimately don't respect you when they recognize that that's who you are. You're a 304 and you'll kind of do it for money. And I don't know if they really respect it, but how does that, the space has gone where you can't, everybody's a fragrance head now. I feel like we're like in a cut. Like it was only a few of us who had stuff. Now it's like everybody has closets full of stuff. So it's growing, especially with the younger generation. You see some of these young kids on TikTok doing fragrance influencers. I mean, they have followings that are crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that affects the viewer though, in how should they view it as a viewer? If you're not a content creator, take yourself out. You're somebody who says, hey, I like watching fragrance content. How should a viewer approach that in your opinion?
Yeah, so I would say the approach that I used, I mean, it was always infotainment for me. I was watching it in my downtime, or if I was on the road or something, I was watching and listening, and it was infotainment. It was something I enjoyed. Just like anything that you do, you got to be able to kind of just have some discernment about it, right? About what may be the motivation, and it's not necessarily that because you like something and I don't doesn't mean that you're paid for it because you like it, and I'm just shitting on it. It's just different ways of viewing it. So I think that when you are seeing these things, I try to make things super transparent. Like, all right, what can I do differently to improve the viewer experience so they understand? And it doesn't change the way I view things, but I think for people watching, it might change it as well. So like now I have a B for if I bought it. I have a G if it was gifted to me, right? So it's very clear and transparent for those who need the extra layer. But I think in any form of content, whether it's Shaq doing a Buick commercial, or you hear, your favorite fragrance influencer, if you'll call it that, talking about a fragrance, you got to determine what's best for you, and then use them to some discernment through it. I think as creators, we have an obligation, though, to be transparent in what we do. If there's a sponsorship, click the little button to tell you it's a sponsorship, etc. All the things that will help the viewer make a better decision. But I think, use your smarts and your brains about it, and listen to the people who you feel have some authority in the space to know what they're talking about, and then their views align with yours. And if you do that, I think you're in a good space.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think some of the biggest complaints, because I try to listen to the people, kind of see their perspective, is a lot of people they know for a fact are getting free bottles and or getting paid, and there's that non-disclosure thing, which by law you're supposed to disclose, right? You're supposed to disclose that by, I believe FTC. I can't think of the law right offhand, but you're supposed to.
Yeah, it was right there. So there's that little box, though, right?
Yeah.
So you get it free. You get paid for it, both hit the box, it pops up in the first 10 seconds. So if you leave the video, it comes back up for another 10 seconds and it goes away. So, that's there. I click it all the time. But I try to make that extra layer in case you missed that first 10 seconds for you to go back and like, all right, cool. I know what it is.
Yeah. Now I feel like, and I don't know if you notice it, and I saw somebody say it's looking like it's getting weird. I feel like the fragrance Fragcom space is very little originality. I feel like it's being bombarded with clones, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you like rocking clones because that's your affordability, I'm not knocking that. I am not enjoy those clones. Please, by all means, do what works best for your pockets, right? It's not necessarily my thing, but do what works best for your pockets. But how do you feel about that? Let's start there. How do you feel about, and I know you do some of those videos too, but how do you feel about, it seems like that's, when you look on FYP, it seems like that's what people are talking about the most, and the originality is no longer really being discussed anymore. How do you feel about that?
I think there's a few ways you got to look at it. Like I did some internal research on my viewers. Like as I just, over the years, I collected my own little data from things that I've seen people comment, etc. And I think there's a few things. One is the clones are getting clicks, right? So if you are able to talk about a fragrance that smells like, a $400 or $500 fragrance that she may not be in a financial position to afford comfortably at the moment, or you just may not feel like that's for you to do that, then it makes sense in that space. And there's a ton of people who need to be in that space. Outside of that, I talked about it earlier about the low barrier to entry. So if you're trying to get into the fragrance game and you need to make an impact and get a bunch of fragrances quickly, if you don't have a ton of money, it's an easy way to do it, to begin getting yourself in a position to make some money. So that's a way to do it as well. Personally, I think I've said this in the past. Personally, I never came like, growing up in the streets, you couldn't wear USPA, you had to wear polo, right? And I think it's kind of the same thing. So when I came into the fragrance space, I wasn't in clones. I wasn't buying clones. I had Creed and Hospital. You know what I'm saying? So that was the difference for me. But knowing and learning about the clone space, Parfums Vintage is kind of how I started out, and then Alexandria Fragrances and Dua, and then Orientica. So those are brands that I had relationships with and learned in that space. And outside of that, I didn't cross over much across the line. Now, there are some brands that just get talked about a ton and people ask me about, so therefore I bring them into the space. So I think that it makes sense if you're making content for your creator, for your viewers, you got to talk about things that resonate with them or things that might help them out, because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. It's making sure the viewer feels they're getting some value from the content. And sometimes you just need to bring them that space. Now, some people can't afford the $500 fragrances, the $1,000 fragrances, and they'll play in that space. But also, there's people who can afford it, and they just like them, right? It's an easy one. I saw Phantom; he had like some clones. I just saw Jalen Hurts was talking about Lafayette Street and how he would never pay that for for a bottle, and he can clearly buy many of those if he wants to. So it just depends. It depends on where you are in the space. I think there's a lane for it, just like there's a lane for those purists of fragrances. Like I'm going to wear fragrance regardless if it stinks, if I like it. Like you could say it smells like fecal matter, but if I love it, I'm gonna wear it. And just like there's a space for me, like in the confidence and compliments lane, there's a space there. So I think know your audience, know what you really want to do and what you want to represent, and then you got to follow it that way if you're a content creator.
Now, I know there's been some people who have discussed it kind of loosely, and I know I have a good friend that's on TikTok space, and he told me about like the designer houses are like paying over there. They're like those, the Pradas and all that. Even Chanel. People said Chanel wasn't giving out bottles. No, they're giving out bottles now. Like that shows you the power of the influencer market, where people who review fragrances on the internet are getting bottles from, it's not just clone companies, from designer companies, from Chanel. Chanel is sending out bottles, contrary to popular belief that people think they aren't. They are. I think companies have gotten to the space where they said, bro, this is the new TV magazine. TikTok is the new magazine. IG, YouTube is the new space to get seen. Now, with that said, as a segue, with a lot of money flowing, because I don't think very few companies in general can match the intensity or the money from the Middle East. How do you think that impacts the space overall, just in general?
Big bang take little bang. It's just like anything, and I think it's something that the big brands, the major brands, need to look for. I mean, really, when you think about it, makeup artists, I'm gonna call them makeup artists, content creators in the beauty space, they get this treatment from the big brands. that some of these Middle Eastern brands are giving the fragrance creators. So I think that they need to kind of just look at that in the same space and say, all right, cool, this is something we need to do. These people are generating hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in revenue, at least kind of helping us out in that space. So I think it's something that they should look at. Again, I still feel like we are a few years behind where all of the other creators are, but it's something that I think is growing and going in the right way. But the Middle Eastern houses, they do it right. I mean, they're bringing people out. They are providing experiences. So that relationship in itself, outside of if you just like their fragrances, there's a relationship there as well. You're more prone to talk to them, and you may be more prone to kind of move away from some company that might be new to this space because you have a relationship with this company that's already supporting your mission, your goals, your purpose, etc. So I think that that's it. But outside of that, man, I think they're doing it right. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, one thing I try to think about, there's positives to it, right? Like I always tell people, I try to stay in my own lane. I do my own thing, right? I don't hate on nobody. I don't care what people do. To be honest, if there's other creators just flat out lying to you saying this smell good because it got paid, you got to make that determination if you got to wash them. I can't hold nobody's hand on that. And people are changing their family lives, their trajectories. They're moving out of projects and making money that they can now be into a house that they can afford and provide for their families. It's worse things you can be doing, like out here killing and robbing, right? It's that ain't my thing, but I also not hating on that. But there's always pros and cons to things. How do you think, or how does a indie house, because now everybody's getting paid, right? It's not a mistake. Well, let me back it up. I don't know if I'm not gonna say everybody's getting paid, but money is out there to pay influencers. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. That is a fact, right? Money is out there to pay influencers for different things, for various things. How does a company that may be a small indie company getting into the space, how do they keep up with the flow of that? Because it's also the commercial time of being seen. Like, how do they keep up with that? How would you suggest that they figure that out?
Yeah, I think there's a few things they could do. Like personalization, I think it is key. So I get tons of emails all the time from people, and really it's like a copy and paste, right? It's like, hey, I love your channel, love what you do, been following you for a long time, blah, 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 blah. You go to them, and there's nothing there on the site. They're not following you. They're not positioning their fragrance, their brand well. So if you're not positioning your brand well, then I'm not going to take you serious, and I don't think other creators will take you seriously as well. So you kind of just pass, you're scroll over, so to speak. And you may have great fragrances, but again, presentation and am I going to be able to speak confidently about your products, etc. Once I get them in hand, or does it even make sense for me to send someone your way? So there's a brand that I do work with, not paid work, but they sent me something years ago. I love them, and they decided to come out with a different brand. And this brand is not positioned like the first. I'm like, I don't know where to buy you. The fragrances smell amazing, but you're not presenting it well to the public. So therefore, I don't talk about it. Although I talk about your other brand. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's something that can set you apart. Like take yourself seriously, your packaging seriously. Take the way you show up online seriously, because those things are free. And if you do that, then people are more likely to kind of dig into it and listen to you. But if you don't have a budget and you want to get someone who's bigger and you think that they can help you in a space, I think I heard Jay-Z talk about this, like, 10% of a $1 billion company is better than 100% of a company that's doing nothing, or something along those lines. I mean, I think you could offer equity in a company if a person's like, let's start a real partnership, a real brand. You like what I'm doing, I like what you're doing. Offer a percentage, and it's a small percentage to start out. I mean, I think that's where you get loyalty. That's where you get repeat business, etc. Like a one-off check is not going to change the trajectory of your business a ton, right? Unless you're doing a bunch of people talking about your fragrances, etc. in that way. But you can establish a relationship with someone and they have some type of equity in it. If you're a small brand trying to get started, like that's a way you can do it, and it's nothing out of pocket. Or you can have a substantial a referral program in the beginning until you get established if you don't have the money to do it. But I think relationship is first before we even talk about payment. Relationship, and then position yourself in a way from referral bonuses. And a lot of big creators aren't going to care enough about that. You know what I mean? They go with a check to go behind it. But those are some ways that you can get into the game with it if you just start now. And UGC, I mean, UGC is another one too. That's like free of charge, but you're not getting like the bigger faces and names along with that either. You can just get a bunch of people who might have good relationships with their audiences.
Yeah, because I know even smaller creators or people getting into the space, sometimes they, I think we're at a point where in general in the industry where the free bottle just isn't enough, depending on, especially from what company. Yeah. Unless you just rock with that person as a human. Like, it's just some people that rock with me, I would never charge. It's just some people I just personally wouldn't, because they supported the content. Like Chris Classic, I would never do that. Yeah. I don't care how big I am.
I bought every fragrance. He sent me his samples. Like, hey, let me know what you want. I bought everything. And I bought them twice. Like, I bought everything twice.
Yeah, so it's like certain people, Mike from Day 3, it's like certain people I just rock with. George Zaharoff, he's always rock with me. So it's like certain people I just wouldn't, but I think there does come a point where it's just like, okay, we have to sit down at the table and have a real conversation, because the reality is, even if you kind of like my content, it's also you see value in my content, and that's because you want access to viewership, space, which is dollars at the end of the day. I think we have to, be honest with stuff like that. But
listen, I got an email the other day. This is a personalization, and it was addressed to Bowtie, but they sent it to me.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, we love your content. I say, hey, man, listen, I can get this over to the right person for you if you like, but I'm sure they just copy and paste it, had ChatGPT write the message for them, copy, paste, throw a name on there, and just was moving too quick.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Segueing into the business, because I don't really know what else. I mean, I know clones is a big thing. Chat, if y'all have some questions, please hit them up. I'll be looking at the questions to put them up there. But what's your idea and your thoughts when it comes to a masterpiece? Let's segue from the business. We can circle back if somebody has a question. But what's a masterpiece to you in the game? Because I see that thrown a lot on the internet. Everything's a masterpiece or everything's a 10. What's your thoughts? What makes a fragrance a masterpiece?
That's a good one. I think, and I think you'll continue to see it because it's kind of different for everyone. This is a subjective piece, right? So for me, and why I wear fragrance and what I got into fragrances for, one is the overall feeling, right? Do I feel good or feel like I made the right decision when I spray this thing on? That's one. The second part of that is, where does it rank in realms of the compliment factor, right? I got into fragrances because someone put me on the fragrances, and it was traditionally for compliments. And a lot of people come to my videos like, oh, it's not about compliments, but studies say that 68% of men wear fragrance for compliments. So there's that. Right? And on the other side of it is, does it last? Right? Like, fragrances have become increasingly more expensive. And I want to make sure that if I'm recommending a fragrance for someone who might not have 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 bottles of fragrance, and you're spending your hard-earned money for 1 or 2 bottles a year, that's something that you can feel good about, that's going to last you throughout that time frame. Those are things that have to be like top-notch for me. So does it make me feel good? If I feel supremely good when I wear that fragrance, we're easing along. Does it get me compliments? When I say compliment, like a lot of compliments. Yes. And if it lasts, yes, that's a masterpiece to me. Right? So those things are kind of like the balance and scales. And when you think about fragrance collectively, there's a lot of fragrance brands that do one of these things right, but to get them all correct is rare to me. So when you do that, I'm like, this is one that I could call a masterpiece for said reason. And I think that those things that, you know, I look at in that 10 out of 10 space and say they've done everything correct.
You know, you say something that's a big hot topic, so we'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's a good one. Is fragrance. Listen, some people are putting up videos every single day. I hope to achieve that at some point, batch recording, but I just don't know how I'm gonna do that. But I'll figure that out. I think I'm doing pretty good now with my Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Everybody know what it is, and then, you know, I try to chop those videos down, make them smaller to kind of maximize my overall content. But people take issue at times with the naming of videos. The naming of videos. What are your overall thoughts? I look at it as entertainment. I know what it is, but we have grown adults who know what it is who still get upset at it. Now, listen, I get some of the, you know, a woman might say this is objectifying to me, you know, but we live in a world, so you can't please everybody. Somebody's going to be offended over something, right? But what's your idea or your thoughts on the naming of videos? You know, lady killers, panty droppers, compliment getting, or whatever it is. Let's give it to the people raw. Just give them to a raw. Why it happens, why it should happen, in your overall thoughts.
Yeah, I think it happens because people click on it. so that's one. You know, psychologically, you may not necessarily know that you feel that way, but once you see it, it's like one of those tabloid things back in the day. Like you have to know. Like, oh, I gotta know what's in it. So I'm assuming you're talking about like panty dropper.
Yeah.
Those panty droppers. If they want people to change the titles, you got to stop watching it, right? Like people hate compliment videos. They hate videos about call this fragrance will make you call you daddy. They hate panty dropper videos, but those are the best performing videos in the space. So therefore, someone likes it. And you also have to remember this. So there's like levels of viewership on YouTube and Instagram, etc., TikTok. So you have your casual, you have your let's start with your enthusiast, right? So your enthusiast will probably be the vocal person in the comment section. I hate this title, hate this video, compliments suck, etc. I wear fragrances for me. That's going to be your enthusiast, and they're and well in their rights to feel that way. Then you're going to have your next person who may be watching the video for a specific reason. I'm about to get married. I want to make sure I smell good. I got this baddie I just poured. I want to make sure I smell good. I'm new in the office. I want to make sure I smell good for that, etc. But then you also have just a curiosity space of something that just makes a person click. And I think that those titles solve for all of those. You're going to have a person who's going to click because they want to tell you why this title is terrible, right? Or say nothing drops a panty. Then you have the person that clicks because it really solves for what they want to do. Then you have that person who just might be learning about the space and say, let me figure out why I'm watching this or why I would want to get into this space, and boom, this video would drag you in. So I think that that's it. So for me, the titles make the most sense when you do them that way. I did a video recently that I think is probably one of the best videos that I've done, but it has one of the worst watch through. I mean, the watch through rate is fine, but it doesn't get watched a ton, right? So it has like a 70% completion rate on it, but it's not watched a ton. It says it was originally titled "This Is Not Cologne," but now it's most people make this fragrance mistake. The video really good, explains the fragrance space as you would want someone to know about fragrance. However, I did a video. This fragrance makes women weak in their knees. Clicks. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that people talk about they don't want, but they actually subconsciously do want them because those are the ones that people are clicking on. So therefore, if you're spending money to produce the content, you want to get a return on it, just like any other business. So you want to do what's works.
I get it. So we got a guy in the comments. He's like, it ain't no way you're dropping panties with fragrance. Hey, my guy, Whiskey Reaper, no shit. I don't know how old you are. You know what I mean? I don't know how old you are. I'm assuming you're Whiskey Reaper, you're a man over 21. When you saw those videos, did you think that happens? Why does that bother you? You know what I mean? Like we gotta have to have a real conversation on why that offends your sensibilities, right? Because you don't have to click on it, but you'll watch it, you'll click on it to complain about it. That's weird, bro. Turn the TV off.
Listen, I did a video. If you don't get compliments with your fragrance, watch this. Right? If you never get compliments from your fragrance, watch this. I think the title's around those lines. 500,000 views later, right? People are there saying, I don't wear fragrances or compliments. I'm like, man, you clicked on this video. You realize you clicked on this video. You know what I'm saying? But then you have a ton of people in this space like, oh man, this is what I wear fragrances for. And again, like I told you, studies show that 68% of men actually do wear fragrances for compliments. So I feel like, you might be part of the rare few who don't do that. But there's a lot of men who do.
Now, I don't want to really entertain the guy, but why not? This is Whiskey Reaper. He has a lot to say, right? You say you don't click. First, you say people click on it. They click the laugh, but those videos are monetized. So that's like going into my store saying I'm gonna buy your food to dump on it, but you gave me money. You paid me to, like, you gave me money. That's weird. That's almost like Drake buying out the whole front row to a Kendrick Lamar's concert, but you paid for those tickets. You still put money in his pocket. You doing a lot of commenting, so clearly you have issue with us here, but you're in our space and we're monetizing this content. Like, I don't even know why you're here. I just don't. Like, you're not really adding anything to the conversation. You're doing more crying than anything, and it's just weird, bro. It's weird. I don't know your deal, but I'm gonna let you live. Don't nobody kick them. Let them live. But that's the kind of stuff we talking about. It's like, y'all say this is what y'all don't want, but if I'm serving pizza, that's what I sell is pizza, and everybody want hot dogs, but I'm trying to throw pizza down people's faces. It's a bad business model. And I get it. Some of y'all like, oh, I do this for the love. I do this for the fun. Y'all don't do it. Kobe played basketball for the fun, but he also was on his contract. LeBron just read up his contract. He loves basketball. It's clear he does, but he's not doing it for free. I don't know. What's your thoughts? I don't want to give this guy too much more attention, but
yeah. I mean, so to your point, there's the business of fragrance, and it's a big business, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and we play a small part in that. The way I look at it is this: like any type of content creation, you are putting time into it. That's the one resource you can never get back. But for me, I have editors and thumbnail designers. I'm putting real money. Like people are paying their bills for what I pay them to produce my content. So therefore, I am going to get paid and monetize it in that way. So like I could hire people, and I do hire people, and they take care of their family based upon what I am doing with the fragrance space. So therefore, like I treat it as a business because it is a business. Like I always used to use this analogy, like no one got mad at Shaq when he was doing Buick or Kia commercials. Well, anytime you watch Cut My Ride, there was never a Buick or Kia or nose when Shaq is there. Right? What you do see is me buying these fragrances, wearing these fragrances, and putting my hard-earned money into it. So therefore, I produce the content as I would. And it's very similar, just like there's TV shows that I've never watched and don't watch. It's the same thing on YouTube. It's spaces that you can be in. Like, hey, this is for me. This isn't for me. It's no hard feelings.
Yeah, and I just never understood. I don't know.
Shout out to Goods. I keep hearing people say Goods in the chat. Shout out to Goods too.
You said what happened?
They say Goods in the chat. Shout out to Goods.
Oh, Goods in the chat. Shout out to Goods. I always like it's. I don't know, man. You like me. We come from different cloths. Like if I don't rock with something, I'm not even clicking on it. I'm not turning on it. I just kind of like move accordingly.
Mhm.
But I don't cry and complain about things that I don't know. I didn't grow up in the internet era. That wasn't kind of I grew up and then the internet came.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the sticks and stones era where it was like sticks and stones. I don't think a lot of y'all grew up with sticks and stones. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words that never hurt me. What that in essence means is like you can say whatever you want to say to me. Like that's really not going to get a rise out of me, but you will never put your hands on me because then there's consequences to actions, right? There's a reaction to every action. And
Mhm.
I don't understand the people who do that, but by all means, y'all are also contributing to rather you keep commenting in the space. That's why I said I wasn't gonna boot him, because the more he comments in the comments means there's more engagement in the comments, which means
Make
YouTube
the video do better.
what YouTube is going to just shoot it through the roof and recommend these two videos, especially since we're streaming on both platforms. You kind of like contribute to the message. So I appreciate you. Yeah. What else you got? I don't get certain things, and it's mostly my analytics.
Listen, I love it. I love it. I don't delete no comments. I keep them all.
Really?
I harder, you know. Tell me what else you think. You know? Yeah, I don't delete nothing.
You're right, because it does affect the algorithm, and it affects it in a way that you're right. I ain't even look at it that way.
Yeah, I do. Listen, I be sitting here laughing at it, baby. tell me what else you feel. Let's have a conversation. Let's go 100 times on this. So that just help the video out. Let's go. More you come back to it, the comment, the more views you get. Listen, I'm with it. Baby. Come on with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What's next? What's next for your channel? See, for those who have been around for a while, or if you're new here or new to Big Beard Business or the Triple B way, to me, and I told him this earlier today, or it might have been yesterday. We had a conversation. He's been a pioneer in changing different things, and you might not see that. I'm pretty sure I want to give Jeremy credit for the top 10s. Was he the first one? I want to believe he's the first one that was doing top 10s. I believe.
I don't know if he was the first because I don't know, but I know he was like when we talk about consistently doing them. Yeah, I think he was like one of the first to do that.
But I remember you were one of the first to do weekly rotations.
Yeah, I started that.
That was your thing. Doing multiple camera angles, I feel like that was your thing. Doing multiple camera angles and even adding little videos within your space. Like you've been kind of just, I feel like you look at the landscape and you say, okay, what can I do different? What are some of your games, or what's next for you?
So you're 100% right there. So I've been toying with bringing different ideas into the space, right? Let's kind of make fragrance a bit more fun. There's like certain people I feel like you go to for certain things. I am never going to be as well versed in fragrances like as a Steven, you know what I'm saying? As a adolescent. His knowledge is like to the next level. And I don't personally have a desire to dig in that deeply. But what I do want to do is make sure that I make it entertaining and put it in a space where it will make people come back. So I did a Temu versus, I think I just bought all the fragrances from Temu, right? Temu was a hot topic. I said, let me see what they do from a fragrance space. And that video did really well. I think it did like 1.5, 1.6 million views or something. And I'm just doing those types of videos. I just released Amazon versus Temu. I just did a celebrity fragrance video, just themed it a bit differently. We got some 1-star fragrance reviews that I've done in the past. So I'm just trying to do like topics that make sense in the YouTube space, and then bring them to the fragrance space to gamify it a bit, make it a bit more fun. And the next kind of step is to do something for the subscribers in like a real way, and put some real money behind it. Yeah,
That sounds that's fire. That is fire. As I told Triple B, I said we need to, I thought about VerSense, but I said we need to have this thing where we can chop it up. I said Fridays work good for me on Fridays, that we can just get together. We'll talk throughout the week, but we're both busy people, so we'll see how that happens. Hopefully a lot of y'all enjoy the conversation. because I know we're coming up on an hour and 30 minutes. I think that's solid time right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind looking at some questions to get, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just seeing if anybody has any questions for us. Any questions? It could be about fragrances, content creating. Let's give y'all a good 10 minutes, give or take, to ask questions. If nothing happens, we're gonna go ahead and skate up out of here. But let's see what we get. Anybody got questions? Enjoy watching Big watch this.
You know what? That might be from my channel. So
Yeah, that's from your channel. Hey, that's all good. So let me introduce myself for those. Everybody knows you, but my name's Equality Fragrance. I have my own channel, Equality Fragrance. You can look it up. If you dig the content, if you dig the lives, if you dig these kind of discussions, please shoot me a subscribe over, show some love. If you come over, you look at some of the content and you don't really rock with it, cool. I understand that too. I ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm gonna give it to you raw. Pause. So let's see what we got. EQ, realize people love to complain and rate. Yeah, I'm at the point, like, sometimes chat, if y'all arguing with somebody in here, just let them talk to themselves. Just ignore it. Just let them talk to themselves. That's what I would do. Is no point in going back and forth with nobody on the internet. It would be dope to get a call-in fragrance show. Well, I mean, that's kind of, we talked. Is that okay? We some things. I mean, me and Triple B talked about it. Like, do this kind of show and then put the link to join us in the chat to do like a question and answer or to come on. But like Kevin Samuel's show, we don't. Let's get straight to the point. You know what I mean? We ain't here hanging out. Like, just get straight to the point. Access, whatever you want to access. Maybe next time we do that, we can put, like, join us in the chat. Maybe while we're talking, I'll put the link in there that says, okay, do this now. But, like, make your point in and out. Of course, we're gonna have rules to that. Me and Buck talk about that. What those rules want to look like. Like, I know one of them, I think it's the Kevin Samuels rule. Like, you got to have your camera on. If your camera ain't on, you're not getting clicked on. But I think that'd be great. But yeah, I don't have a problem with I don't know about calling in on the cell phone, but I think coming on live and chopping it up with us to ask whatever questions, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I'm good. I think what you said makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. We just won't do it now because right now I feel like we're about at that hour and 30 minutes. We need to go ahead and from a replay watch time value, we need to go ahead and wrap this up a little bit. But maybe the next show that we get together, we can do something like that and have a topic and have people call in. I think that'd be fire, especially if y'all show love. Make sure y'all hit the like button on Triple B's Ways video that he's streaming on. Please, by all means, come over to my page, hit the like button. Y'all show love, and this is what kind of content y'all want to see us talking. We can do that. I would love to bring a woman on. I have one in mind. That's a good friend of ours. That I would like to bring on. At where we can get into some topics, but we'll see what that is. That's a lot of crowded space, but that's things that we've talked about for the audience to get into it. Let me see one more question. How can we unload or sell blind buy fragrances we have outgrown? I think Facebook for that. Facebook will be the best place to sell fragrance. They have something called Facebook Marketplace, a Facebook group that you can get it. Somebody help him out. Put that in the link and show him how to get to that page and to join that. If you have a Facebook, that'd be the great place to get rid of that stuff. I'll stay in the show. Still want to try. Triple B, what house do you want to, I believe, tap in that you don't have? All right, so what house you want to tap into that you don't have in your collection? I think that's what he's trying to ask. What's the house that you want to explore?
I can't pronounce it. The one that y'all be talking about. You and both have talking.
Oh, Boadicea.
Yeah, I gotta talk. I gotta get into that. Like, I always see people talk great things about them. I've never personally came across them. I think maybe you sent me a sample. Somebody sent me a sample of one or something like that. But I haven't been able to really, really explore their brand. So I need to see what it's really about.
All right. Well, with that, y'all, listen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We can't give you everything. We gotta have y'all want a little bit more. But again, in all seriousness, if you all like this content, if this is something that you want, y'all know I'm on every Friday. Triple B, he be traveling. He got things to do.
Yeah.
But
Listen, like traditionally when you hit me up, I'm like, yo, I'm on the plane, about to be, back. But this was perfect timing. This is perfect timing. I got a lot of travel coming up too, so this was solid.
yeah, if y'all like this content, we talk on the phone anyway. So coming on here, as long as we got topics to talk about, or we can, it can be entertaining but informative at the same time. I think that's what matters. If there's nothing going on, there's no point in us, just sitting here breathing and looking at each other, right? It gotta be. But a lot of y'all, I mean, what would you say it 200,000 now? Over 200,000 now. So it's a lot of people who might have questions to ask you. That we can make that happen and get them on. But again, you just know this stuff is listen, Kevin Samuels rules is being recorded. If you say something crazy, that's on you. I'm not deleting the video. and I might use it for content later. So just know that when you come on. But anyway, people, listen, we appreciate you coming on. If there's something we're gonna do regular, we'll have a nice intro. We'll put it together, get a nice edit and get a nice intro. But other than that, people, please hit the like button, follow both. If you aren't following both, I'm sure you are. And with that being said, man, we're gonna leave y'all with a peace.
Shout out to chat.